What's up, everyone? I was due for a haircut and wanted to record the process for anyone else at home who needs a cut too. As you see, my hair is falling straight down and I want to give it some more volume and create some shape. And all we're going to need to do this are some ponytail holders and some good sharp shears. So I'm going to start by sectioning my hair off into sections and then taking a ponytail holder to band each one. And I'm going to keep doing this and working my way all the way up to the front of my head, like so. And once you're finished, you'll have this mohawk type vibe going on, and you can move on to the next step, which is to take your back piece and then gather the front remaining pieces all in one big bun. Now for this back piece, I'm not going to be doing a lot of cutting, just really cutting the ends for evenness, as you can see. And I'm doing this because I didn't want to lose too much length on my bottom layer. So I'm just going through piece by piece, making sure I get rid of the dead ends and just making sure that it's even all the way across. And now we're going to move on to our second layer. And for this layer, I'm going to cut a little bit more, and I'm going to use the first layer to figure out how short I need to cut the next one. The next layer should be a little bit shorter than our first one. So as you guys can see, I'm just cutting it a little bit more than I normally would, and I'm still going to go in and make sure I cut curl by curl. So you'll see right here, I come across a curl that definitely has some dead end on it, and I'm going to cut that off and not keep it just for the sake of length. And I'm going to come across another one right here too, and you'll see that it's very frizzy at the end. That's how you know it's dead hair, it's not healthy, and you can definitely see the difference between how a healthy strand would look and how an unhealthy one would. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Again, you can see how frizzy it is at the bottom. So I'm going to cut all of that frizz off and make sure that we have even hair across the board. And then from there, again, go in and do piece by piece accordingly, making sure that there are no random frizzies or dead pieces of hair that needs to go, and making sure that it is slowly but surely getting shorter as we go up higher onto the third one. And again, using my second layer to then determine how short my third layer will be, making sure that the hair is cut a little bit shorter than the layer underneath it. And I was on to the next one. For these front pieces, because I'm closer to the front, I can actually just pull the hair straight up in the air, making sure I pull it all the way up and then bring it to the front so that I can see that I'm cutting evenly and straight across, getting rid of those dead ends. Even those long pieces, they had to go. From there, just to make sure that I'm really getting the shape that I want, I'm going to separate the two pieces and again cut curl by curl to make sure I'm shaping this exactly how I want. There is no textbook formula that you need to follow. You just need to make sure you know what shape you want and feel comfortable enough cutting your hair accordingly. See me pulling the pieces down, but it's more so to just make sure that they are unraveled and not scrunched up anywhere. You don't want to cut by pulling the curl all the way down, because it won't be an accurate cut for how it's going to look when your hair shrinks back up. So if you do see me pull, it's more so just to make sure that the curl hasn't gotten tangled or anything like that. As you work your way towards the front of your hair, you definitely want to take your time because this is going to be what frames your face. So you'll notice I'm definitely using smaller sections to cut, and I'm a little bit more attentive to how I'm cutting piece by piece. I'm not doing it in as big of sections, and that's because I really want to make sure that this front section is popping. We're finally to the front. Again, pull the hair up, cut the ends for evenness, and then once you do that, you can go ahead and separate and really hone in on the shape that you want your hair to take. So, fun fact, by the time I got to this point, I guess I decided that I was going to give myself some bangs, so bang it out if you please. If you decide to do bangs, make sure that when you're cutting them, you go back in and kind of cut on an upward angle just to make sure that you really get the framed look that you're going for. Unless you're not going for frames, you don't got to do that, you know. But I was going for a very framed, shapely look. So now that you're pretty much done with the cut, the next step is to, once you gather yourself and realize how much hair you cut, the next step is to make sure you didn't miss any pieces, fluff your hair out a little bit, see the shape that it's taking, and make any final snips that you need to before you're done. And then boom, you're done and you look cute. You look good, girl. Turn it around. Let us see it. Work it. Do your thing. So I guess it's clear that I love my haircut, but let me know what you think. Have you ever cut your own hair? Do you have any horror stories? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.